So for this video, I just wanted to talk about the elements of art because in many of your worksheets where it says, what are the elements of art and principles of design, this is where you're going to need to know what the elements of art actually are. So I just wanted to kind of explain those. So for instance, this one right here is a 5th grade worksheet, and one of the questions is, what elements of art and principles of design do you see in the artwork? So they would have to tell me in this artwork, what elements of art and principles of design are they in there, if this is the question that they're working on. So whenever there's a worksheet like this, I try to remember to put text box in here for you. So if there's a text box, then you can double click and you're able to start typing. Now, sometimes I do forget to put that in there. So all you have to do to add your own text box is to click this button right here. It's a T with the square around it, and then you just kind of click wherever you want to type and you can type. Okay, but we don't need this because I actually remember to do it on this worksheet. And it says here on like the actual assignment, it says to do the whole worksheet. So this is a 5th grade example that I'm using, but you need to pay careful attention because sometimes, especially for younger kids, it'll say you just have to pick one question. Alright, anyway, back to what this video is really about, which is the elements of art, in case you ever need to know what they are, and if it ever comes up on a worksheet so you know what they are. Okay, so elements of art. I want to show you that on all of your tables, there is a sheet of paper that has the elements of art on one side and the principles of design. So you don't have to have them memorized. This is where they are. It's a cheat sheet on all of your tables. Alright, so let's pretend that this is the artwork that we are listing the elements of art and principles of design for. Okay, so let's start with elements of art. We're just going to go through the line and see what we see in here. So first, do we see lines? Yes, there are clearly lines. So that's one of the things that you would type in the box because you're typing what elements of art that you see. So we see lines, so you would type line. You do not have to type wavy line, straight line, zigzag line. All you have to do is write line on that worksheet that I was showing you earlier. The next one is shape. These are some different shapes in here. If you see any shapes, you write the word shape. I see an oval type shape. I see a rectangle here. So those are definitely shapes. There's also organic shapes over here, which this worksheet's calling freeform. That's another word for organic. And they are also up here as well. So see, there's lots of different types of shapes. In this particular artwork, there's a lot of organic shape. So like this body of water is making an organic shape. Okay, anyway, so if you see shapes, just type the word shape. Form. That's these over here. It's just 3-dimensional. So if you see cubes, pyramids, anything like that. I'm not seeing any forms in mine. So we're not going to type the word form if you were to do this piece of artwork. By the way, this artwork is called The Scream. It's by Edward Munch. But it's spelled like munch, but you say it Munch. Okay, back to what I was talking about. So no form, so you would not type that. You would type line, shape. Okay, let's talk about this. Color. Yes, we see color. So you would type color, comma, space. Texture. Let me explain what texture is. Texture is how something looks, it might feel like, or how it would feel like. So if I gave you like a stuffed animal of a sheep and said, what elements of art do you see? You'd say, I see texture because this is really soft. But even though this isn't something 3-dimensional, it still looks like this would be kind of rough. Don't you think? So rough is a texture. Okay? I feel like if this was real life and I put my hand on this, it would feel like bumpy wood, you know, like it's rough. So that's a texture. So I would put texture. Alright, now if you think that that doesn't look bumpy, then you don't have to put texture, right? Like there's no wrong answers here. That's just what I think. I'm going to say. Okay, let's talk about space. Now, this has some really good examples. So this means, are things smaller in the distance? That's one way you could have space. Okay, well we already have it. Look, these things are smaller in the distance. And this whole bridge gets smaller in the distance. So yeah, it has space. But I still want to talk about the other ones, even though for this one we already know to write space and we can stop. But I want to kind of tell you something else. So look at this example. Filled up the whole paper. Okay. So it takes up the whole space. So it's space. Does it show perspective? Again, things are getting smaller as they go. I have a poster over here about perspective as well, if you see that. So if you see a horizon line, a vanishing point, 1 point perspective, like this road here, then that's also showing perspective. Okay, which we have. Look, this is going back. It's clearly 1 point perspective. There's a point back here where all these lines are going to. So it has space because of that too. And let's see this one. Overlapping shapes. Okay, so overlapping, that means something is in front of something else and other things are hidden. So you'll see in this example, like there's part of the banana is hidden by the grapes because the grapes are overlapping the banana. All right, now we also have this in here because we can't see the bridge because this dude is overlapping the bridge. So there's all sorts of space in this one. All right, so anyway, we would definitely put space for this example. Let's move on to the next one, value. So value means lightness or darkness of a color or of, just white or black. So I could say it's basically lightness or darkness of a color, including gray. So really, really, really dark gray is kind of like a black, and really, really, really light gray would be like white. Okay, anywho, let's look at this and see if we see any value. Oh yeah, we see dark blue and light blue. That's value. We see dark orange and light orange. 2 values of orange. So there is value in this. There's multiple values. Yeah. And then look, there's like dark here and light here. So there's value in this artwork. There's a lot of elements of art working in this. Now, not all artwork is going to have that. Like, for instance, if I were to show you this, okay, the artwork in this is the design, the henna design. There's not any real space to it. It's all very flat, and there's no color in it. So there's a lot of things that we wouldn't write in there. There's no value. It's all one color of black. Okay, anywho, I'm going to do the principles of design in a whole nother video because this is kind of getting long. Okay, thanks, bye.